Are you planning a trip to Warsaw, Poland, or maybe considering different places or destinations to visit in Europe? Then this video is for you. Because in this video I will share travel tips to the capital of Poland, Warsaw. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mila and this is Mila Explore, where I share anything travel related. So last year me and my boyfriend, we wanted to do like a short weekend trip. So we decided to go to Poland and spend a few days exploring the city, eating good food and tasting some vodka. So apparently Poland is the home of vodka, and so of course we did have to try out the Polish vodka while we were there. Anyway, I will tell you more about that in this video. So Poland has a lot of beautiful cities and places to visit, and Warsaw is, as I said, the capital of Poland with a population of 1.8 million approximately. So naturally there's a lot of different things to do there and places to see and a lot of different restaurants and everything like that. And while I was researching the city, I found out that there's a lot of different pubs, different restaurants, a lot of different places I would like to visit in Warsaw. But this video is especially great for anyone who is traveling to Warsaw for just a couple or a few days. And I will also share some practical tips to consider while you're in Warsaw. So let's get started. So let's start off with some history. One of the most popular things you can do in Warsaw is to visit Poland, which is the Museum of History of the Polish Jews. Since we visited Warsaw in the middle of the winter, it was quite cold and we like to have some like inside activities, and this was a really good one. It was a really interesting museum which showcases the history of Poland and particularly the history of Polish Jews. So in the Poland Museum there are 8 different galleries which all include like artifacts, paintings and also these interactive installations, so you can really like immerse yourself in this history. So I thought that was really interesting. There was a lot of things like in the museum, but if you have like a few hours to spare and you want to really get to know like the history of the Polish Jews and the history of Poland, I think this is a really like important part of the Polish history, then Poland is a really good place to spend a couple of hours. And speaking of museums, hopefully you're not thinking like, oh
my god, this is so boring, just museums.
But hear me out. So even if history is not your cup of tea or museums in general, I highly recommend you visit the Polish Vodka Museum in Warsaw. This museum is such a good place to visit, and also the tour there was really good. We had a guided tour in English and it was so good. It was just really interesting and the like whole tour was really nicely set up, and in the end you can finish the tour with vodka tasting. So I'm not a huge fan of vodka, but still this was really fun, and you get to taste like I think a few different vodkas, like a potato vodka and then just a regular vodka and a cheap one and a more expensive one, and I think the whole tour was like 10 euros per person, which is not bad at all, and that includes the vodka tasting. So this guided tour at the Vodka Museum is really something I recommend you do, even if you're not like a fan of history or vodka. And after the tour, make sure to pay a visit to the museum's cocktail bar because their cocktails are insanely good. If there's something you do and you enjoy cocktails, you have to go to the Vodka Museum's cocktail bar because their cocktails is just, it's so good. Yeah. So if you have ever been to an European city, you know that many of them have their old towns, which is just like the oldest neighborhood of the city, and these usually have a lot of different like old buildings and old houses, which I just really enjoy just looking at. So this is also true in Warsaw. They have their Stare Miasto, or the old town in English, and there you can find a bunch of beautiful buildings and also really cute shops, boutiques, like unique restaurants and cafes. and you can just spend a few hours walking around the Stare Miasto. And if it's cold, like we visited in the winter, you can easily just go to a local little coffee shop to get a coffee, or even in the summer, I think this is a great place to visit because you can just stroll around there in the like old town of Warsaw. By the way, to get around in Warsaw, you can use their public transportation system. It's really convenient, and we used an app called Jaktojade. I have to look it up here because Jaktojade is not an easy thing to say. But yeah, there's this app called Jaktojade, which really makes it easy to check like current timetables and connections, and also buy your ticket to the public transportation system. So we mostly use the tram, but also sometimes we use the buses, and both of them worked really well. So yeah, Jaktojade is the app that I'd recommend you checking out and downloading if you're traveling in Warsaw and want to use the public transportation system. So last year, after the Warsaw trip that we made, I made a vlog about it, and in this vlog one of my viewers commented that if you're ever in Warsaw again, I highly recommend going to the National Art Museum, Vistula Boulevard, which is apparently a really good place to hang out at in the evenings and especially in the summers. And then Cosmos Museum for interesting Instagrammable pictures, or a terrace at the Palace of Culture and Science. So if you're in Warsaw, I think these are really good to check out because these are tips from a local. I personally didn't go to any of these spots, but now I know where I will go next time I'm in Warsaw. So of course, when you're traveling, you have to eat and you also have to drink. So if you like cool pubs and delicious food as I do, then hear me out on this one. For cool pubs with great beer selections, you might want to check out Piwpaw, number 1, Kraftowe. I'm not sure if that's the real name, but that's how you find it in Google Maps. It's a really cool pub with loads of different beer choices, and I think also some ciders if you're not a fan of beer. And then we also have Same Crafty or Same Crafty Multitap. This is also how you find it in Google Maps. I'm not sure if that's the real name of the place, but anyway, that's also a place I've read good reviews about. I didn't personally go to the later one, at least the Piwpaw. Number 1, Kraftowe is one that you can visit if you like good beer, which I do. I like to try different beers. For food, I recommend you go to Prodis, Warszawski, Zebra i Kostki. I'm sorry about the pronunciation, it's probably not correct. And also Mokotowska 69 for delicious food. Prodis Warszawski is actually a more budget-friendly place to visit or restaurant to visit. It was really good. And then the 2 other ones are a bit more expensive, but still much more affordable than compared to like restaurants in Finland, where I'm from, by the way. During our recent trips, me and my boyfriend have really enjoyed going to the local spas and especially like trying out the local sauna areas. So usually a lot of spas in Europe have their own sauna area, and since I'm from Finland, I do really enjoy going to the sauna and just checking out and exploring the different saunas in different cities and different areas is just really interesting and really relaxing as well. So if you want to have a relaxing time and just spend a day really relaxing and chilling and like exploring different kind of saunas, then I highly suggest you go to the Syntago or the Park of Poland, which is a like really cool water park just outside of Warsaw. And the water park is divided into 3 main areas. So if you're traveling with children, then maybe just the cheapest ticket might be for you. It's the Jamango ticket. But if you're traveling with a group of adults, like with some friends maybe, or maybe you're traveling as a couple or even as a solo traveler, then you should definitely consider getting the most expensive tickets, which gives you access also to the relax and saunaria areas. The relax and saunaria areas are for like adults or people over 16 years old, so you can really relax in those areas and like go to the different saunas. I really find it really relaxing and just a good way to spend a few hours. But just so you are aware, a lot of saunas in Europe, in European spas, require you to be naked, and also like a lot of the like adult section in the spas also have the rule that you can't use like a swimming suit. So if that's not your cup of tea and you don't want to like be naked around other people, then you might want to consider this, and also just check the rules at the spa that you're thinking about visiting, because just so you are aware and don't get like really uncomfortable. So we've been to a few spas around Europe. We've been to one in Berlin, one in München, and one also here in Warsaw, and all of them require you to be naked. And we have also been to one in Tallinn most recently, which didn't have this rule. So just so you're aware of this kind of thing. So I hope you have enjoyed this video where I have shared a few tips to Warsaw, Poland. And if you're traveling to Europe, maybe you want to check out some new destinations where people haven't been traveling to very much. Like instead of going to Paris or London or Barcelona, maybe you want to check out some places in the Baltics or in Poland, because these places are really great and also quite affordable usually as well. So if you want to plan like a budget-friendly trip to Europe, I would highly suggest like checking out places in Eastern Europe for more like budget-friendly travel options. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will link the travel vlog here so you can go and check out that one next, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!